Hey everybody, Douglas Blair Roberts here, the Super Beta 400, the brown skin humor. Come back at you with a new type of video intro, and this is another tribute. Praise, salute, and approval video intro of awesome YouTubers, content creators, and just awesome people in quote unquote general. Yeah, this is vastly similar to my tribute to the deceased people, but I decided to do a whole nother one for YouTubers and content creators and other awesome people who are of course still alive and in my opinion doing great things. And the very first one on this list, which the link will be in the description box below, and the larger video will follow this one, and that is my salute and praise of predator poachers and CC units. Yeah, these are quote unquote, as you heard from the titles, these are movements and groups of peoples in YouTube channels, YouTube and social media channels dedicated to exposing pedophiles, child diddlers, predators, and getting them out and doing everything in their power to get them off the street, whether it's getting them to admit to their wrong and promise and embarrassing and humiliating them and traumatizing them so they'll never do it again, or if the person, he or she, mostly he, is uncooperative, they can just call the police. They can get their license numbers. They can just call the police and let the police take them and get them off the street, which is usually how most of their episodes end. It rarely ever ends the first way, with the person admitting he or she, mostly he was wrong. The very first one, which will actually be part of my Doug talks and rants, political stuff, political and current event stuff, current and past event stuff. My first one, the one that got me into this, was the popular YouTuber EDP445 being exposed as a pedophile, as he was, quote, as the memes say, he was caught in 4K trying to meet up with a little girl for sex, which he hilariously claimed, which is now a meme, that he tried to meet her for a cupcake. But yeah, this got me. While it was handled poorly, because EDP445 is still free and not in jail, I love what they did. I love the interrogation and how they straight up owned, exposed, and humiliated him live on TV. I would never condone public humiliation and bullying like that, but if you're a pedophile and a child diddler and a creep with no sympathy, you deserve it, man. You deserve it. I wish they would have finished it, and wish they would have called the police and got him off the streets. He's still roaming free. Now he's banned from YouTube and other social media platforms, but he's on Instagram and TikTok, which angers me. But my full-length rant on him will be in the description box below. There will also be a short narration on my Doug8798 channel for people like for people who want to see the for people who want to see the long version. For people who want to see the narration picture version. I'm not sure if I'll use EDP445's picture though. May just use a movie or video cartoon of mine. A picture of a movie, video game, or cartoon of mine. I don't know. But anyway, that's what this intro is. So with that being said, let's get started right now.
everybody. It's time for another salute and praise of awesome people, and another salute and praise of two awesome superhero groups. The first is the XJL, the Extreme Justice League, headed by I think his name is Knight, headed by Knight, formerly the popular Mr. Xtreme, but he's now retired. And the newest group, X Factor, which was created when a couple of members split from Extreme Justice League and created their own league. I'm going to start off with the cooler faction first, Extreme quote unquote Justice League. Yeah. According to the real life superhero.wiki, the Extreme Justice League is a group of real life superheroes originally based in San Diego, California. The Extreme Justice League was first founded in 2006 by Mr.Xtreme to try to prevent crime in San Diego, California. Their mission, as stated below, is: we currently patrol around San Diego County, doing patrols anywhere from just the north of the border to as far as north as LA. On occasions, we do everything from standard crime patrols to large campaigns, public service announcements, community outreach, and homelessness outreach. We try to be an integral part of our community. More than anything, we want to see our community a safe place. We have a diverse group ranging from people with security backgrounds to full-time students. We have all our reasons for doing this, from past trauma to being inspired by superhero movies. Just wanted to do something worth being proud of. At the end of the day, we want to make a difference. Yeah, the Extreme Justice League. The Extreme Justice League, I like their quote unquote gimmick. They have a hybrid of the G.I. Joe, Marvel, DC, One Punch Man, My Heroes Academia, various quote unquote franchises. That's what their quote unquote group reminds me of. And alongside the Bay Coast Guardians, who I did last time, I consider one of the coolest superhero groups of all time. The members over the years, some of these have left, some of these have retired, some of these still remain. One unfortunately has died, and those members are the current leaders, Knight, and female MDM Moxie, Animal, Divine Force, Emerald, Fail, Fallen Boy, one of my favorites, Freedom Fighter, also one of my favorites, the Glass Wing, who doesn't have a page. Then there's the Grim, another favorite, Hawk Flash, another favorite, Heavy Hitter, Impact, another favorite, who now works for the Bay Coast Guardians, another favorite of mine. Lifetis Messengers, Midnight Highwayman, my boy Mr.Xtreme, who unfortunately is now retired. He retired in July of 2000. Phantom-esque, Reverb, and the late great Roroni, who passed away in May of 2012 over quote unquote car accident. Another one named Ryu, another one named Spartan, the Vigilante Spider, and Violet Valkyrie, and of course the Vortex, the quote unquote Vortex. These are several of the quote unquote yeah, these are several of the quote unquote members of the Extreme Justice League over the years. Like I said, my favorites from the my favorites from the group are my favorites from the group were and are the Grim, Mr.Xtreme, Knight, Freedom Fighter, MDM Moxie, Hawk Flash, the Fallen Boy, and of course Impact. Impact were my all-time. These are and were my quote unquote all-time favorite members. They have the coolest costumes and quote unquote gimmicks. But I like all. But these are my all-time favorites from this quote unquote group. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah. Mr. Let's start off with Mr.Xtreme. Mr.Xtreme was a real-life superhero in San Diego, California. He was a founder and first leader of the league, as well as a member of the Guardians Angels. Like I said, he is now retired. According to real-life-superhero.wiki, as told on the Real Life Superhero Project website, Mr.Xtreme grew up in a household of abuse and was molested as a child, which inspired him to eventually stand up and become a real-life superhero. The inspiration for his suit came from the Power Rangers and other superheroes, and he has a newspaper clipping of a rape and murder victim, Kitty Genovese, to whom he dedicated his team to. He first teamed up with the Vigilante Spider, another popular and notable member who has since split, who I think is still a real-life superhero, but has since split from this group. According to Mr.Xtreme, his parents, I saw a documentary, I saw a YouTube video. If I can find it, I'll put it in the description box below, but I saw a YouTube video of one of his parents not particularly liking him being a superhero. Quote, was more supportive, but his father, quote unquote, wasn't. Mr.Xtreme has been a participant at the Project Hope since it first began in 2010. Unfortunately, on July 23rd, 2020, the Extreme Justice League announced that he was, quote unquote, retiring. He's an awesome superhero. I do hope he returns. One day. His superhero, he doesn't, but his superhero group has a quote unquote Facebook page. Of course, he unfortunately doesn't. His secret identity is unknown. Along with his cool costume, I like his equipment. He has a taser, stun gun, pepper spray, helmet, and goggles. And as far as hand-to-hand combat, my other favorites: Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, self-taught hand-to-hand combat, enhanced willpower, and self-taught weapons expert. And he mostly focuses on crime patrol and public outreach. His foe, like a lot, is apathy. His foe is apathy. His name is Mr.Xtreme. His alias is Mr. X, and his identity, like I said, is a secret, and he doesn't have an alter ego. So yeah, that was quote unquote Mr.Xtreme. Now for current leader, the current leader, Knight. This guy has an even cooler costume, and he's the current leader. He's one of the current leaders of the Extreme Justice League. He also has other teams called Misfits for Life and Agents of quote unquote Hope. Agents of Hope. According to the website, Knight joined Extreme Justice League on May 1st, 2014. becoming a fully patched member in June of 2015. Knight is driven by one thing: make the world a better place at any cost. Knight has military, police, emergency medical, public relations, martial arts, and a psychology background. He is also an artist known for making illustrations of his team, as well as being an unofficial cameraman when called upon. He is coordinator and social media rep for the Extreme Justice League. He also took over as board president when Mr. Xtreme retired in 2012. According to June of this year, this guy Knight intentionally revealed his face and identity as Rob Reeves in a Facebook live broadcast, and he has two quote unquote Facebook pages and accounts. I already mentioned his abilities. His equipment includes armor, emergency medical equipment, zip cups, and flashlights. He focuses on crime patrol, visual deterrent, de-escalation, education, outreach programs, bail bond, recovery, charity fund raising, physical fitness for charity, community outreach, and mentoring of quote-unquote children. His foes are apathy, crime, hate, hunger, human trafficking, drugs, crime patrol, and human trafficking and drugs, not crime patrol, but human trafficking and drugs. Sorry, the people who designed this page has too close, and I mentioned he's still active. So yeah, that's quote unquote Knight, the current leader of the Extreme Justice League. Then you got the next member. The Grim. The Grim is a real-life superhero in San Diego, California. He is a founder of the other group I was talking about, the X Factor, and he was a former member of the Extreme quote unquote Justice League. He's still active. His abilities is a stun gun, pepper spray, and helmet, and he has military training. He's one of my favorites. I love his cool costume. It's basic, realistic, and quote unquote cheap, just like me. The superheroes, I love those. I like the cool superheroes with the big time expensive jobs. For the cool, almost comic book like costumes, but I also like the real life cheaply made flashy cool costumes that I have made from regular street clothes and various accessories, so and equipment. So according to his bio, a 30-something-year-old San Diego native, I have seen my city go through many changes growing up in San Diego. I have muggled at gunpoint twice, almost robbed at knife point twice. Shortly after I returned from my 6 years in the Navy, my house had been broken into and my car had been stolen. I knew something had to be done and a change needed to be made. In 2011, I showed a magazine article of Mr.Xtreme, and I contacted the group and joined the Extreme Justice League in summer of 2011. Now leading patrols as the Grim, helping with outreach and community improvement programs is the life for me, the Grim. Having been the Extreme Justice League's director, operation for some time, on October 12, 2017, the Grim announced that he was stepping down from the position, but not from the Extreme Justice by the end of 2012. However, on July 23rd, the Extreme Justice League announced that he was retiring from the group. However, on August 20th, 2020 of that same year, he explained, "I'm far from retired," and he his activism now continues with the cool X Factor group. Next is Freedom Fighter. Next is Freedom Fighter. Not much is known about this guy other than that he does safety patrols, public outreach, and apathy, and apathy. According to his wiki page, he appears to be quote unquote inactive. He has quote unquote two actually his Facebook pages are now gone. Actually, his second one is gone. His first one is still here. Could have sworn he was active. According to his page. He's now. Well, anyway, yeah. Well, yeah. As you can see, I like his quote unquote costume, just like the previous one. His costume is realistic, flashy, but cheap, just like mine. So I can relate more to this. Guy. Yeah. Freedom Fighter. Yeah, he looks like an extreme street version of Captain America and Nomad. Captain America's brief identity when he got sick of the Steve Rogers' brief identity when he got sick of the Captain America gimmick. Yeah. So yeah, Mr.Xtreme. And then of course there's DM Proxy, the only female member of the group and one of the current leaders of the Extreme Justice League. Her name was initially Night Girl, but in 2022 she changed it to the Indian Moxie name. Not much is known about it other than that she joined the league in 2015. Her foes are apathy, crime, hate, hunger, human trafficking, drugs. She does watch guarding, violent crime patrol deterrent, de-escalation, education of outreach fund, charity fundraising, mentoring children, and she works as a nurse, wound clinic worker, and aircraft mechanic. Quite the resume. Cool costume, but not as cool as everyone else's. Then there's the female Halt Flash. She is one of the more recent she was one of the more recent members of the Extreme Justice League. She's now a member of the X Factor. According to her bio, she's a former private investigator. Hawk began her superhero career in late 2013 as a member of the California Initiative San Francisco. In 2016, she relocated to San Diego and been patrolling with the Extreme Justice League. She became official patched on July 23rd, 2017. In May 2020, when Grimm left the Extreme Justice League to form X Faction, she Hawk Flash decided to follow him. Hawk Flash, she's also the subject of her own comic book series, The Adventures of Hawk Flash and Sombrara. That's one of my careers. That's one of my many careers. So yeah, really like this superhero. Her abilities include de-escalation, and she's a brown belt in the martial art Kuk Su Wan. Her equipment includes an afro pick, fan cert, former PI, and ham radio operator. So yeah, she does patrol, outreach, and cert. So yeah. Also cool costume. She reminds me of Jade and Katana from Mortal Kombat, a cooler version. Yeah. And the last one of the last ones, I already talked about Impact in another video, in a previous video, and the last guy on this list is Fallen Boy. Fallen Boy. I like his name. I like his gimmick and costume, and his name is hilarious. And his name is hilarious. Yeah. Also, just like the others, one of the coolest and most realistic and cheapest superhero, just like me when it comes to his quote unquote costume. But yeah, Fallen Boy. Fallen Boy. He is still a member of the Extreme Justice League. Extreme Justice League, and yeah, his affiliates were Mr.Xtreme, the Divine Force, Knight, MDM Moxie, and the Grim, and not much is known about him other than his logo, which of course he in his bio says he made his logo as a symbol for children fighting cancer. They are the inspiration behind many of the things I do in trying to make the world a better place. I have never seen more strength displayed than when I visit these children in the hospital. True warriors, my real life superheroes. So yeah, yeah. Yeah, here, yeah. So yeah, this has been the Extreme, quote unquote, the Extreme, quote unquote, Justice League. Now for the second group, X Factor. X Factor is a real life superhero team in San Diego, California. We are comprised of an underrepresented and oppressed people. Women, BIPOC, LGBTQIA, differently abled, immigrants, and victims of abuse have a home and stay with us. We are far stronger. In 2020, when Grimm left the Extreme Justice League to focus on the actual injustice perpetrated by the states and especially police, he created X Faction. This group has organized several protests as well as hosting a YouTube show to highlight other activists. In 2021, they were one of the teams to participate in the San Diego's yearly Hope, quote unquote, projects. And like I said, their members are Grimm, Violet, Valkyrie, Brick, and of course Hawk Flash. And I guess, yeah, they focus on civil rights demonstrations and providing training, and their foes are oppression and apathy. So yeah, this right here was the Extreme, quote unquote, this right here was the Extreme Justice League. To see the bios and see the various old videos on this group, links will be in the description box below. Alright, you don't want to hear the rest of the music, turn the video off right now.